getting played, nigga.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Romani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism, antagonism, narcissistic and toxic relationships and people, and how to navigate them. So, and speaking of navigating, actually, that gave me a little way to get that in there. Please listen to my podcast, Navigating Narcissism. We've had amazing guests all throughout the whole podcast. Links in the video notes. But I'm going to talk about something that I cannot believe I haven't talked about on this YouTube channel. I was doing some research for some other work I was doing today, and I was studying, and I was like, what? I didn't do a video on this. So we're going to talk about something that you already know, but it's a really great framework called DARVO. So let's talk about this. Some of you may have heard of DARVO. It's really a tool for understanding gaslighting, and it's a tool that you'll need when you try to hold a narcissistic person accountable for their behavior. And like I said, I can't believe I haven't done a video on this. It's so often top of mind, but more in sort of like the research type stuff I do. But like I said, I was doing some research for something else and was looking at DARVO. So I thought, oh, this is going to be really useful to talk about on YouTube. So here we are. So DARVO is an acronym that captures the reaction of perpetrators. Frankly, I believe it captures the reaction of any narcissistic person when you attempt to hold them accountable for their behavior. Now, this acronym, DARVO, it stands for denial, attack, reversing victim and offender. Okay? Denial, attack, reversing victim and offender. DARVO. Got it? It's a good thing to know. Now, this acronym was developed through the work of someone named Dr. Jennifer Freed, who is a psychologist and scholar who does really, I find it incredibly compelling research on perpetration and betrayal. We'll put her website in the video notes for those of you who might want to do a deeper dive into her science and scholarship, because it's really quite great. But I want you to sit with that whole DARVO acronym for a minute, because that's it, right? You try to hold a narcissistic person accountable, and this is what happens every single time. It's a really clear laying out of the gaslighting dynamic. So really what DARVO does is it really captures gaslighting in a really solid way. So let's lay this out as an example, right? You go up to a narcissistic person in your life and you let them know that they've done something wrong, and you directly address that with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had to run it back because I don't like it when my people be complaining. If I didn't do something, I apologize. Let me apologize again. Take responsibilities. Oh, they said, Zo, you didn't cover it. You clickbaited us. Man, I'm passionate about my people. And when I start talking, I get carried away. So maybe I was a little off topic, but the context of my topic was still in alignment with everything that was going on. The context of my topic is, how the hell did we get here as a community addicted to drama on social media? That was the whole metaphor of the entire talk, which is why I started the talk with, sharks devouring a whale carcass. The drama is the whale. That's what it was about. People are like, oh, clickbait. Listen, maybe you've been clickbaited before in real life, on social media, but that was not my intention. So I'm definitely going to address the Corey and Anton situation directly for people who feel like I didn't do so before. Everybody, please hit the like button. That's important. Please hit the like button. That's important. Hit the like button, share it, let people know your brother Zo is online. Let's talk about it. Let's get this work, right? Let's do it. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Now, of course, I have a super chat goal. I want everybody to drop a 5 spot if you can to support the channel. If you can. I want everybody to hit the like button, hit the share button, and don't forget to support Black-owned businesses, particularly the ones that I support here on this channel. Next week, we're going to have Dr. Russell Herbals. Dr. Russell Herbals will be in studio. This is after the year he had where he lost everything in the fire. I think this will be the first time he's appeared here. Hey, I'm shouting everybody out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Imad El Kubati. Thank you, Mr. One of a Kind. Thank you guys for supporting the show. We appreciate it. I want to shout everybody out that does it. Please continue to support. You can also go to my Cash App. That's $ZoWhat Netter. But yeah, Dr. Russell from RussellHerbals.com will be coming on the show next Friday, or this coming Friday. Also, download the KBLA Talk 1580 app. Zoe Williams' Voice of Reason is live tonight on MLK Day. Please support. Yes, MLK Day. Support. What else do we have? Oh, we got the Lazarus Pill. And let me shout out, we got 5 book orders. That's the most book orders I've had in about 2 years. So from Friday's show, 5 people went to my website and purchased my book. And I'll be shipping those out soon. Please, if you want your package to go out as well, we encourage you guys to support the black-owned businesses that we put in front of you. Another black-owned business is Total Package Energy. You guys have kept Total Package Energy in business for over 10 years. And I'm talking about specifically this audience has kept Total Package Energy in business for over 10 years. So if you drink energy drinks, if you support all those other brands, why not support a black-owned business? Please go to totalpackageenergy.com and support. All right? Total Package Energy. They got B12, they got vitamin C, they got pea protein, and of course they have their legendary energy shot. So you got Total Package Energy, you got Russell Herbals, and then you got my brother Alan. Alan and I, we have teamed up for the Lazarus Pill. We got the Lazarus Pill, formulated to keep the bark on the dog. When I tell you, I'm walking around with a trash bag full of herbs. Somebody called me a dope boy. I said, what? Somebody called me Nino Brown. I said, huh? Don't do that. Herbs, man. Herbs. But guess what? It's that magic. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's that magic. And brothers have been buying it. And coming back and getting more. It's that nighttime Thanos. Huh? It's that nighttime snap Thanos. Come here, girl. Come here. Yeah, we call it the Lazarus Pill, formerly known as RZN. Go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. MrZoWhat.com. Also, Gods and Money. I wish you could get this website up for them so that they could see the product. Gods and Money, high-end skincare for men, high-end cologne scents, ouds, and all of that, right? It's pretty dope. It's a dope brand. Gods and Money. Money is spelled M-O-N-Y. That's godsandmoney.com. godsandmoney.com. All right, everybody hit the like button. Let's get in the algorithm, and I'm gonna get started right now regarding today's special MLK Day ZoWhat Show. A couple of small things we have to address here. Okay, I remember this little girl because, of course, I have 3 children that were raised in the late 90s and mid-late 90s and early 2000s. Former All That star dragged nearly 2 blocks in deadly hit and run. Little pretty little girl, man. I remember her. The kids remembered her. They loved her dearly. And I'm trying to get her name. We had her information here. I think I accidentally deleted the picture. Who is the young lady from All That? Everybody hit that like button, please. We got 106 likes out of 215 people in here. Are you guys familiar with who I'm talking about? The young lady? Because my kids used to watch it. It's called All That. The young lady, she was dragged nearly 2 blocks in a hit and run. Kiana Underwood. Beautiful little girl. And like I said, my kids used to watch that. So that meant something to me. And I wanted to send condolences, respect, and love to her people. It's just important to do that. Also, I want to send some shouts out, some love. For us, he was a legend. He was LL Cool J's sidekick. He didn't rhyme. He didn't really do anything, but his name was E-Love. E-Love has just passed away. And E-Love is a hip-hop legend. He was also famous for being the silhouette of Public Enemy's logo. Right? E-Love. That was Public Enemy. She was 33 years old, this young lady. You know. But yeah, E-Love just passed away yesterday. Yeah, he was the man with the box in the Crush Groove. And he was also Public Enemy's iconic logo. It was created of his image. Damian E-Love Matthias, multi-platinum producer, writer, director, and marketing pioneer, shaped the very fabric of hip-hop from NYC to the world stage. He co-produced hits with LL Cool J, helped launch Tupac, John Forte, and became the man in the hat at the center of the Public Enemy logo, hip-hop's #1 symbol of power and resistance. I want to send shout-outs to both of them. Much love, much love, much love, much love to their families. Much love to everybody involved that feel their loss. Yes. And before I get to the meat and potatoes of this, Jill Scott wants you to bust nuts. Lots of nuts. In her latest interview, she was just talking about a man being himself and being open and being tapped in, and she wants you to bust nuts. Lots of them. She's literally saying this. And I'm not mad at her. If she listen, hey, listen. She wants you to get at it. Listen, I've always loved Jill Scott, man. She wants you to be free to express yourself and bust nuts. All right, now it's time for us to get busy. It's time for us to get busy. I got stuff to cover because people thought I was ducking or something. Oh, listen, I know you like being disrespectful because that's what the chat, right? That's the culture of the chat. I was explaining this to somebody before. I said, listen here. All of Black America is comedy. We're all funny. All you got to do is go to any chat room. You're going to see the funniest of the funny. Your grandmama funny, your auntie funny. Everybody in Black America got jokes. Now, before the internet, only the cream of the crop of the joke tellers could become comedians. I remember way back in the day, me and Freeze Love, we were famous in the city of Pasadena, along with Wayne Gunnels, and a few others. We were famous for snapping. But this is pre-internet. Freeze Love elevates to comedian status. Right? Now in today's day, right? Everybody funny. You read some of these clips, some of these comments. I know people who look at these clips just for the comments. Right? Let me see what they say. The comments is wildin'. So all of Black America is funny. And I get it. But sometimes we find ourselves going too far for the sake of the joke. Sometimes the comment section can become cruel and brutal. And depending on who's wielding the jokes, they might be wielding the jokes from an unhealed space, trying to feel bigger, better, or on par with somebody that they're not. So they use or weaponize the comment section or the peanut gallery. So people are saying Zo didn't address, right? Well, I'm going to address right now. Let's just get right to it. Do we have that clip? Play the clip.
I'll be honest with you. When I saw Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels go at it, I didn't see two dudes arguing. I saw the same quiet argument that's been living in my head and in a lot of black men's heads for years now. Because if you a black man in 2026, you already know we're living in a split reality. I mean, everywhere you look, you see black men being forced to pick which world they operate out of. On one hand, there's the world where context matters. Then on the other hand, you have the world where it doesn't. And that's the part nobody wants to admit out loud. We're not just disagreeing anymore. We're trying to survive using different operating systems. On one hand, you got one group that thinks if we don't explain the system enough, we're lying. And then you have another group that thinks if we don't stop explaining the system, we'll never grow. So I watched Corey and Anton clash, and I felt that tension in my chest because I lived on both sides of that fence already. And I realized something else. We've been living in a culture where black masculinity has been defined by everybody except black men. Everybody from the media, academia, women, politicians, hip-hop, religion, activists, even some well-meaning elders. And we've been policing each other as if our thoughts and behaviors belong to the collective, when in reality, know what another man or a woman does with their own life, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else, it's nobody's business but their own. That's why on one hand, I can understand Corey. You see, I grew up seeing how the world treats black men like we're unfinished business. You know, like we something to correct, something to monitor, to blame, laugh at, diagnose, but never understand us. That's why when I used to hear a black person critiquing other black people without context, my first thought would be, who are you talking to? Who are you performing for? Yeah, I've been there already. Because history taught us that black pain is always somebody else's content. And black dysfunction, it's always somebody else's entertainment. We see the receipts for redlining, the prison pipelines, and mass incarceration that targeted black men while leaving white men untouched, for the most part. Then you got the media treating black male struggle as a spectacle. Everything from reality shows, talk shows, documentaries, viral videos, and profits off of it while rarely celebrating black male excellence. They rarely do that. Then you got academics who study black men as a pathology or a data point instead of as individuals. That's not my imagination, those are facts. And then on the other hand, I got where Anton was coming from too. Because context, too much of it can become a drug. You know, the kind that feels good, but it keeps you frozen in place. Because I've seen brothers explain their condition better than any historian can, yet not change one behavior in their own life. Not one. How is it that you can name every system that hates you and still not know how to take care of yourself? You mean to tell me you can name every oppression, but not your purpose? You can list every enemy that we have, but not your goals. So when Anton pushes the accountability without trauma disclaimer, I didn't hear betrayal in what he said. I simply heard urgency. But here's what the Corey versus Anton moment exposed for me. We as a people don't even agree on what the enemy is anymore. For some brothers, the enemy is the system. For some brothers, the enemy is our behavior. And then for others, the enemy is the excuses that we make to protect our bad behavior. And then the crazy part is, all three sides have valid receipts. One side can point to systemic sabotage, the redlining, the unequal school funding, the prison pipelines, being over-policed, the media distortion, and the economic exclusion. Black men historically have been punished for the same crimes that white men commit with impunity. There's evidence of all that. Then the other group, they point to our behavior matters. And they're right, because historically the most successful black enclaves in history, whether it was Greenwood, Durham, Bronxville, or Idlewild, they thrived not because of victim narratives that we tell ourselves today, but
y'all agree with him? It's two sides. And how come both sides can't be somewhat accurate? Somebody said the brother Anton speaks anti-black talking points. I haven't heard him. I'm not aware of the brother's work. I'm not saying that he doesn't speak anti-black talking points. Somebody said he's conservative. Okay, so here's my thing. Anything that's anti-black, I don't fuck with. How about that? Right? But if you're talking about, right, self-reliance, right? If you're talking about self-reliance, that's the Nation of Islam. That's what do for self. That's what the Nation of Islam has always taught. Do for self. Okay. Is do for self the same as bootstrapping? Right? Yes, there's still some systemic issues. Right? And there are going to be some systemic issues. Right? But the reality of it is, I'm not deflecting. I'm giving you a balanced perspective. Both statements that were made. You kiss white man's ass. Hey, and don't tell me how to talk. If you got a question, ask a question. Otherwise, just listen. Ain't no deflecting in me, homie. But again, it's always our own people that are holding each other to a higher standard than they holding the people that have fucking abused you. That's what Corey was saying. Don't deflect. We won't. It ain't about what you want. It's about what you can understand, what you can comprehend, brother. Find your level of respect, fam, or bounce. You underdig? That's why I said everybody in our community funny. We get in these chat rooms and we think we could talk. Man, you better know how to talk to somebody. You underdig? That's why we in the position we in now. But I'm going to get to that. The whole concept of do for self. Well, let's just remember, do for self has had its impediments. when you have a people that have been conditioned to be subservient, sometimes we feel like doing for self is hustling backwards. That's a mindset. Remember, Corey said that he said to that man, hey, you kiss the white man's ass. In other words, you agree, you placate, you kowtow, you capitulate, you bend the knee. The man's retort was, you suck the black community's dick, or you suck the black community. So here's what two pieces are saying. You might be dealing with the low-hanging fruit in terms of content for the black community. You suck the black community's dick. You capitulating to the white infrastructure, the system, in order for you to get money, to get bread. Right? And then they both got caught up on what was on the insults thrown, as opposed to dealing with the context of what that meant. We live in a society today where free, industrious, powerful black men are always in the crosshairs. Like E, LL Sidekick, who became the logo for Public Enemy. Whenever a black man says, no, I'm going to do it another way, and I'm going to do it my own way, and I'm going to do it under my rules, my parameters, guess what? I'm surrounded by men like that. The system always bucks back. So that speaks to Corey's point. But what also speaks to Anton's point is there are successful black men that have fought through that gauntlet. It doesn't mean that they got to stop fighting through the gauntlet. See, once you take on that fight, you got to fight that fight forever. Point in case, Michael Jackson. You owned more music industry real estate than anybody. So they had to get that back. Every time you want to do a record deal, they trying to negotiate a deal that ain't even a part of the record deal. They trying to do a deal with you with their bosses. Let's renegotiate a publishing share for this next album, because they didn't like seeing a black man owning all them white people. He owned 900,000 records. Elvis, Roy Orbison, the Beatles. Come on, man. They didn't want to see that. So what happens is when we on two sides of the fence, two opposite sides of the fence, and we can't communicate effectively, clearly, as men, and I've been there. Like the brother talked about himself. He said he's been on both sides of the fence. I've been on both sides of the fence too. But a lot of people are missing something that I think is very important. When you hear bootstrappers talk, this is heavy. Bootstrappers, they miss some important shit. Are you ready for what bootstrappers miss? When we talk trauma, and let's not take it to slavery, because we've heard people say some of the most disrespectful shit in the world, right? They say, that was 150 years ago, right? That was 150 years ago. Why y'all tripping? Get over that. Even today, there's some news reports that Donald Trump is saying, damn, I need to overturn the Civil Rights Act because a lot of good white folk were hurt during that time. Listen. Are y'all listening? This is happening right now, y'all. In real time. A lot of good white folks were hurt during that time. I'm going to show y'all something. I got a clip. It's of the sister. I'm about to show y'all something. This is what's happening to us right now. And I understand the argument between Corey and Anton. One is do for self. You could even say capitalism. Maybe Anton's a black capitalist, right? You start making money, you start thinking red. You start thinking Republican, right? You start making bread. You say, hey, man, the Republicans care about protecting corporations and businesses and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get it. But let's not marginalize and act as if trauma hasn't been done. Trauma hasn't been executed. Before we get to that clip, because this is setting up my overall argument here. If your child was raised in a toxic environment and the child grows up and says, I got to go, right, Zoe, I never heard anybody say Jews should get over the Holocaust. Nah, they get to commemorate and memorialize. And do you understand? I get it. But if a child is raised in an environment that is toxic, that is fractured, that lacks attunement, has a misaligned, misattuned parent, a dismissive parent, an avoidant parent, a narcissistic parent, a codependent parent, that child is molded by that parent's insufficiency or lack of internal competency. A psychologist will tell you that that child will take whatever wounds were not addressed by the parent that have manifested in the family environment, they will take that into their adult relationships. Well, Carl Jung also talked about the social shadow, America's shadow. If the human being and the individual family has a shadow, he said society has a shadow. This is Carl Jung's work. So if society has a shadow, has society tried to integrate its shadow? What is integration or individuation? When you take the shadow part of yourself and the persona or the mask you wear and merge them into one. That's called individuation. That's just white people stealing nirvana, self-realization, self-actualization, moksha, Christ consciousness, what the Sufis did when they got into a state of spiritual ecstasy. That's all the white people did, was take that and recontextualize it as individuation. Has America individuated? No, America still has a mask of superiority. But what you find with narcissists, they front like they're superior, but in fact they are truly inferior, which is why they put so much emphasis on fronting like they're superior. That's why they got to rewrite the histories. That's why they got to lie to you, condition you, marginalize you, redline you, black law you, Jim Crow you, and then act like none of that shit happened. Do you understand? They try to act like, hey, what you mad at? That was 150 years ago. You should get over it. You got Ivy League educated Dr. Marielle Bouquet, who writes on intergenerational trauma. She's saying at any given time in your life, you have over 256 storylines playing in your genes. But you're going to turn around and say, we got to get over it? So Corey has a point. Sure, we got to become more resilient. Sure, we got to do what Farrakhan said and become self-sufficient. Sure, we got to stand up and start healing ourselves and doing the work. Great. Just like the brother pointed out in the video. What did he say? He said, yo, there are people out there who know how to name their demons, but they haven't tamed their demons. They haven't controlled them. And I get it. I get it. But the reality of the matter is, African Americans in America, whatever you want to call yourself, ADOS, FBA, whatever you want to call yourself, I'm 100% with it. I call us everywhereans. We from everywhere on planet Earth. We are the original Earthlings. Right? For me, we can overcome anything that we've been through, sure, but what we've been through needs to be acknowledged, just like a child's wounds need to be acknowledged by a parent if they've grown. Now, if that parent hasn't grown and they're still the same parent they were when you were a child, when they initially, right, you tell the kid, hey, you got to figure out a way to get past that. Some people will even say, you know what, you got to forgive that parent so you could properly release them and let them go, right? Is that what Anton is alluding to? Maybe Corey is alluding to. Nah. You got to acknowledge what you did and you got to repair it. Clinical psychologists talk about the rupture repair cycle in relationships. Black people in America and the government of America are in a toxic relationship. And the government is saying, nah, just pick up, don't. Why we got to go through this again? I thought y'all would. Don't you live in Ladera Heights? Don't you live in PG County? Fuck is you complaining? You still complaining? Didn't I give you a TV show? See what I'm saying? I don't know the brother Anton. I don't know his work. I'm unfamiliar with his work. If you notice, yeah. If you notice, if you not like tapped in to a person's content, you probably won't see their content in your timeline. You feel what I'm saying? Like in your algorithm. So I'm unaware of his work. I'm just going based off of what was said. And what we don't want to do is deflect from, motherfuckers was talking reckless. Hella reckless. Like fighting words. But I will say this, I commend them for not fighting. They were able to do something I couldn't do. And I'll give them credit where credit is due. They showed some level of restraint that I wasn't able to show in that moment. So I'll give them both credit for that. When someone hears slavery ended 150 years ago, they often treat time like detergent. Right? Enough years have passed, so the stain should lift. Yet when someone hears a child got abused 15 years ago, most people understand that time alone does not metabolize terror, neglect, or chronic humiliation. Right? The nervous system does not run on calendar logic. It runs on exposure, repetition, meaning, and whether repair happened. That's what reparations was supposed to do. Why just get over slavery rhetoric why does it keep finding an audience? Several forces that posture socially convenient information. Here you go. The mediocrity mythology, right? It needs amnesia. If a society sells outcomes, reflects effort, then inherited advantages become a threat to the story. So people protect the story by minimizing history. Obama actually criticized this reflex directly in a 2005 commencement address, describing how bootstrap talk lets society shrug at children born into poverty. If you got systemic systems in place, and we know that they've had systems in place to marginalize, to keep you, listen, defensiveness masquerades as pragmatism. People confuse naming harm with making excuses. Listen, people confuse naming harm with making excuses because they do not want the moral obligation attached to their comfort. Trauma gets treated like bad feelings instead of an inquiry with downstream costs. Get Dr. Mario Buquet's work. Since we all respect the Western educational system so much, she went to Columbia, Ivy League. She's from the islands. I think she's from the DR. Get Mario Buquet's work on intergenerational trauma. So, in one sense, I understand Corey is saying, say that about white people. Right? In the next sense, you understand the flip of that. Why we got to keep talking about the white man and empowering the white man, and when we should unify. Fundamentally and structurally, is that much different from what the minister says? When Farrakhan says, and Farrakhan got it from who? He got it from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. What did he said, our unity would be like an atomic bomb. Now look at us today. No disrespect to anybody. Anybody who know me know, man. I ain't got no disrespect for nobody. I fuck with my black people, man. I want to fuck with my black people. I want to work with black folk. I want us to stay tapped in and locked in together. So I have no disrespect for anybody. But we're more fractured now. Do y'all remember on the back of the Final Call where you had the brother in the African garb reaching out across the Atlantic to the brother in the Nation of Islam garb reaching out to the brothers in the other parts of the world? That's what an everywherean is. We all the same people. Don't let your culture, which is a definition, keep you segregated, isolated, and fragmented from the whole of us. We are everywhereans. This is why they're so busy trying to whitewash the history. The brothers stand on two different sides. And this is why the great Krishnamurti said, it is conceptual thinking that keeps man separate. We are separated, right? We are separated because of our concepts. It's why a Muslim looks at a Christian and be like, y'all changed the book. That's what the Quran tells us. Y'all tampered with your book. The Christian can fire back and say, so did you. How did the vowels get in there, Muslim? How did the misspelled words and vowels get in the Quran? Oh, you don't want to pull those layers. But do you get what I'm saying? It's conceptual thinking. And what have I always said? I said, whatever you identify with, guess what you got to do? You got to defend it. Whatever you identify as, you got to defend it. You got two groups here that ain't really a group. I'm talking about the brothers and sisters on the street that are Bloods and Crips. They black. They brothers. They sisters. But it's the ideological construct. Crip, Whoop, blood. Lanes, nigga. You see what I'm saying? It's an idea that makes you a soldier. You strip the idea, you the same people. See what I'm saying? I don't know. Listen, let's keep going. Trauma gets treated like bad feelings instead of an inquiry with downstream cost. That framing makes move on sound like toughness rather than avoidance. A time gap creates a visibility problem. The lash ended. The aftershocks moved into housing, schooling, labor markets, policing, health, and family stress. People ignore what they cannot picture. The psychological mechanism people miss: transmission does not require genetic memory. Intergenerational trauma does not need mysticism. The APA's definition of intergenerational trauma focuses on transmission of trauma's legacy across generations through psychological and social pathways that transmission can ride on. Attachment calibration. Caregivers under chronic threat, like your mama, when she couldn't pay the electric bill, when she put the telephone in your name, when we ate government cheese. I don't know if y'all listening tonight or today. I don't know. Threat often raised children inside of hypervigilance, emotional constriction, or stay ready socialization. Anything could happen. How many men out there be like, hey girl, when you with me, keep your head on a swivel. We out here in these streets. Anything could pop off. This is how living in these environments can produce toxicity within the soul. This is why when you look at the numbers on divorce rates and marriage rates, we tanked out. We either super high in divorce or super low in getting married at all. And don't even get to the second marriage. Listen, modeling under constraint. Children copy whatever behaviors reduce danger in their environment, i.e. emotional emotional armor. Modeling under constraint. Children copy whatever behaviors reduce danger in their environment, i.e. emotional armor. Dominance displays. We saw that between Corey and Anton. Strategic coldness. Compulsive respectability. Compulsive. Hey, the white man, it ain't as bad as you think it is. There's some good white people out there, and white folk, you know, hear that? Compulsive respectability. Or the flip side of it is, don't let them see you feel. You know who did that? Jim Brown. Every time them white boys tackled him, they was trying to hurt him. They was poking his eyes in his mask. They were trying to abuse him, and he would get up the same way every single time, and he would never let them see if he was hurt or not. Right? Compulsive respectability. Right? Or don't let them see you feel. Never let them see you sweat. Institutional echoes, right? Stress reappears through segregation by policy, punitive schooling, surveillance-heavy policing, right? And unequal labor power. So each generation re-encounters the same song using a new instrument. Technology is the instrument that facilitates that same old song. Maybe it was windpipes, right, in the 17 and 1800s, right? Then it turned into instruments in the 1900s, trumpets and pianos and guitars, and then in the 80s maybe we used the synthesizer, but it's the same damn song. Then we learned weathering, chronic stress from racism, and material precarity. Listen to this. Material precarity can accumulate biologically across the life course, or when they talk about this whole lifespan here, not just your lifespan, but your mama's lifespan, your uncles and aunts, right? This helps explain why it happened long ago, right? That don't map onto lived outcomes now, right? This also tightens the argument ethically. You do not need to claim inherited epigenetic scars to defend the reality of ongoing injury. In fact, some scholars strongly criticize epigenetic transgenerational slavery trauma claims while still emphasizing current structural racism as the driver of disparities. The two brothers I see are passionate about what they own. The two brothers are uber passionate about their positions. But I gotta say this. The two brothers need to understand that they're not each other's enemy. Sometimes we gotta disagree in order to get a better understanding. We think an argument is about arguing. If you understand the law of debate, an argument is a solid point. A counter argument would be a solid point to the initial point. Sometimes we get emotional about our stance because we feel like somebody done sold out. And that has happened so much in our community that the system, I said this on the ZoWhat Show in 2013, I said we're going to have sellouts in our community. We're going to have people that are snitches in our community because the system and the powers that be got a better deal offer. Unity ain't a good enough offer. Working together and saying, guess what? Collectively, we gonna stay at this level. It might not be the level that white folk is at, but we gonna stay at this level because we staying together. Nah, you get some Negro that get to a point in life where they think they can look down. Y'all tell me I'm lying. And every time they start looking down at us, they get thumped down by the people that Cosby, MJ, Shannon Sharp, who else? Puffy. Listen, don't think your ascent up a ladder to success, don't think that ascent means you can't get kicked back down the steps. See, they get to live there. I've been telling people this for a long time. My liberal folk. I'm not a political guy like that either. But the liberal folk, but I have taken poli-sci several times. So I'm a little bit aware of it, right? But the liberal folk, I'm talking about the white liberals. Malcolm talked about them too, right? You want white liberals, right? They want to look right. They're not going to sacrifice their position, their socioeconomic position in life, though. They want to be able to give food. They don't want to be able to starve with you. If you believe in what you believe in, give up everything you got and balance it out. No. But what would you like pesto on your sandwich? You know, because this is a very fine sandwich. It's pesto. There's 2 types of meat. There's prosciutto. And when's the last time you had prosciutto out here on the streets? That's you understand? They gonna support the support systems, but they're not gonna give up where they are in the system. That's white liberals. You know what? We need to help our people, the people that are suffering. Let's get them a Planned Parenthood. Damn, that is part of eugenics. Margaret Sanger and their tight relationship with the Nazis. Oh, the eugenicists and the, yeah. Oh, black people. Yeah, over here, we played the role of Jew. Over here. We always got snitches in our community. What they do? Margaret Sanger said, go over there to the church, black church, pay the preachers. They will preach abortion in the name of Jesus. Nah, drama niggas. Ray 1411. What you mean? Call out Corey for poor moderator skills. That ain't my job. And it shouldn't be yours. Again, we always trying to down somebody. I'm not trying to down Corey or Anton. I already told you, I'm not adroit in what Anton talks about. I can only go by what the internet is saying. Oh, right wing, MAGA talking points, people calling him tethered. But don't come in here and push division. I'm telling you, that's the fucking problem. I told you you were addicted to the dopamine. I told you this on Friday. You're addicted to YouTube dopamine. You want to see beef. You want to see conflict. I don't want to see it no more. You shouldn't want to see it no more. Go get therapy, brother. Go sit with a Babalawo and have them do an Ebo Riru so they can get some of this darkness off your soul to where you keep wanting to see brothers at odds. I don't want to see brothers at odds no more. Somebody said, help Corey. If in fact Corey needs help, number one, it's none of my business. And I'm not here to evaluate or diagnose nobody. But if in fact that brother needs help, who got to do the work? Him or me? You or him? And that's your problem. You think you can help anybody who might be unwilling to realize that they actually need help? That's none of your damn business. Leave that man alone. If you love his comedy, rock with his comedy. If you don't like his talking points on anything else, then don't rock with it. But guess what you do? You rock with it anyway. And then complain. Before I keep going, because I have a lot more to talk about, let me just say this. A lot of people have not hit the like button. We got 7 out of 30 super chats. I encourage people to support my channel. If you guys enjoy the content that I'm laying out, I really want y'all to support the channel. Everybody, please hit the super chat. Show your love. I want to shout some people out who have already done it. You can also go to my Cash App. And listen, it's 700 some odd people in here. Everybody, please hit that like button. That's important. Everybody, please hit that like button. Please like it up. And the super chat is the little dollar sign down at the bottom. You can go there, or you can go to my Cash App. My Cash App is $ZoWhatNetter. If you want the Lazarus pill, you can go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. You can support there. Let me shout out some folk. M2 Dre Daniel. Brother Zoe, you've always been an inspiring idol of mine. Keep up the good work. At Momo052, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to shout out everybody. I'm scrolling up, and then I'm going to get right back to this work. Watch, talking at. Anton is a huge house plant. Shout out to Zoe. I don't know. I don't know that, brother. I don't know. And I'm not listen, when I say I don't know, so, do you know how much Robert Anton Wilson. Look him up. Reality Love, thank you. She said, I love it here. Thank you. Robert Anton Wilson wrote a book called Prometheus Rising. In Prometheus Rising, he took what the famous linguist Alfred Korzybski created. Alfred Korzybski had something called general semantics, and within general semantics, he created a new type of English called E prime. And you saw, allegedly, President Bill Clinton use E prime when he was on trial for the Lewinsky case. If y'all not studying this, it's going past your head as if Bill Clinton is up there talking crazy. He's sitting on the stand. Said, they asked him a question with is in the question. Bill turns around and says, can you define the word is? And they thought the man was using E prime, English prime, without is, to be. It takes isness out because is creates a logical abstraction, a logical flaw. Because theoretical physicists started to understand we can't really say what anything is with definitely. We can't really. The man sat, he on trial, he said define is. He's using Alfred. I'm giving you that backstory to say this. Maybe logic is what Robert Anton Wilson turned E prime into. I write my books in E prime. Because it makes your points clearer. From my vantage point, listen to how I'm going to say something. Biggie Smalls is better than Tupac. First off, my subjectivity makes it a flawed statement logically. He's better to you. So if you say it in E prime from my vantage point and for my particular taste in rap, it appears that Biggie gets the edge over Tupac. This is how scientists speak. They don't use is. Now imagine if you take that and put it in your damn relationships. You have a version of when they say don't use you language, use I language. So how are we going to have a real conversation and we ain't mastered communication? We just standing on principles, and we're inflexible to the point where we can't actually hear the other side because we don't respect the other side outright. But y'all want to come in here, Zo, he didn't even talk about woo, woo, woo. You know why? Because I'm passionate. I was getting started, and then I flipped into something else. My bad. But I do know we created this negative thing. I do know that. We were before the Breakfast Club. We were before a lot of these shows that are like this now. It was the Foxhole. We started this. That's what I was talking about. Oh, I just wanted to hear him. Yeah, because you want to get through your work day. When you going to call yourself out on the mediocrity of what you need to get through the work day? Some of the content that you use to get through your work day ain't even blue magic. It's not the uncut dope that you need. Uncut dope is boring to those in search of stimulus and arousal. Spiritual awareness, conscious overcoming, individuation, healing internally is boring than a motherfucker. I need to laugh through the mediocrity of my job, through the mundanity, the repetition, and then you become addicted to the dopamine hits. That's what I'm telling y'all. Am I lying? Michael Anthony, thank you for the work, sir. Am I lying? And then I'm going to wrap it up with, it's 844 people in here. Everybody subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. The blue magic is uncut dope. I'm not done. Do you have the clip I've been asking for this whole time with the sister? Yes, sir. This is going to be my final piece on this. Please continue to support. Let's go.
I vote for a name change. We should stop calling it white supremacy and start calling it white narcissism. And I'm going to tell you why. I was reading a book called Fear of Black Consciousness by Lewis Gordon. And something clicked so hard, y'all, I had to put the book down. Because I just needed a minute to process. Because a lot of what we describe as supremacy doesn't actually look like confidence or dominance. It looks like insecurity. It looks like fragility. It looks like people losing their minds the second they're not centered. And that's not supremacy, that is narcissism. Yeah. So let me explain what I mean. Malignant narcissism is basically when entitlement, lack of empathy, and obsession with control mixed with aggression is not just, I think I'm great. It's, I deserve to be centered, obeyed, deferred to. And if I'm not, somebody has to pay. So now let's look at the real world, right? Why does somebody lose it when a Black person talks about racism? Why does teaching accurate history feel like a personal attack? Why does someone crash a conversation about police violence and make it about their feelings? Why does equality feel like oppression? That's not the behavior of someone who's secure in power. That's the behavior of someone whose identity only works if everyone else stays small. Lewis Gordon talks about how whiteness gets treated as the default for being human. So when Black people speak from our own experiences, it feels like a disruption, like we're making it about race, even though race was already baked in.
I'll be honest with you. When I saw Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels go at it, I didn't see two dudes arguing. I saw the same quiet argument that's been living in my head and in a lot of Black men's heads.
control. Malignant.
Just bring me back. Am I back? Oh, got it. Sorry. Sorry. Man, at M2 Dre Daniel, man, thank you for going above and beyond the Call of Duty. Hey, man, also, if you guys want to send anything to my Cash App, $ ZoWhat Netter, you are supporting the channel either way, whether you purchase, the Lazarus pill on my website, MrZoWhat.com, whether you purchase a book. Like I said, I got 5 copies going out from Friday's show. If you guys want your copy of my book to go out, just go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. I'm disgusted with our addiction to entertainment. To be entertained is to be entrained, to be caught up in a cycle. I am disgusted with the fact that it seems like we're at the point of no return. The ZoWhat Show has always been a show, as well as the Mansion Show, has always been a show that wanted to point out certain aspects of our community that we needed to work on in order to progress forward collectively. That's what the ZoWhat Show's spirit was always about. How are we going to progress collectively in the face of everything that's going on? Sure, a lot of us might be better at naming the disease or the problem than taming the disease or the problem. Sure. Just like a lot of people out here in the relationship world have mastered therapy speak, but ain't spent an hour in therapy. I get it. That's Anton's point. How long are you going to bemoan the situation that plagues black people? Well, I think we have a right to bemoan what was done in the past and what is continuing to be done now. Who can argue against that? Why would our government block CRT? Critical race theory. Why would our government block critical race theory? They said it's not good for little white children. Is white Santa and white Jesus good for little black kids? If we're looking at the beauty standard, is not the blue-eyed, blonde-haired white woman the standard across the globe? That's what Barbie did. We got our sisters running around here calling themselves Barbie. Literally. And Barbie is literally from the fit. It's a husband and wife team. They created Barbie and Ken and all. Listen. How you calling yourself Barbie and you black woman? Every white man on the planet Earth covets you. And you gonna turn around and be the one he cheating on with you? I think what pisses black people off the most is this avoidant attachment style the U.S. government has. What dismissive, avoidant behavior actually does, not what people think it does. In attachment theory, dismissive, avoidant individuals do not lack emotion. They lack the tolerance for emotional activation, just like the government. They don't want their emotions activated on what they did in order to elevate themselves in this society. They lack tolerance for emotional activation, especially shame, dependency, or accountability that threatens their self-concept as autonomous and unimpacted. What we did wasn't that big a deal. We freed you, didn't we? Oh, I know we didn't give you the 40 acres and a mule. But can't you say you did a little better? Aren't you better off now? You got Christian white preachers out there talking about slavery was divine providence. And it was good for the Negro. And the Negro benefited. Otherwise, the Negro wouldn't be on this sacred land. Am I lying? So when rupture occurs, the sequence often looks like this. Conflict or emotional demand activates threat for the dismissive avoidant. I say America is dismissive avoidant and narcissistic. This is why we tried to play that clip of the sister. She said it wasn't white supremacy, it was white male narcissism. And the problem is when you're in the environment of a white patriarchal narcissist, young black boys see white male narcissists as the standard, a benchmark for what success is. Ooh, y'all don't want to hear that, huh? We praise narcissistic. Listen, we praise narcissistic characteristics in society. Narcissists are charismatic. Narcissists are articulate. Narcissists tend to be handsome. Narcissists tend to be successful. We follow them, whether they're politicians, preachers, or basketball players. We follow them. This is why you can have a 34-time felon in office, because he exhibits and exerts a certain type of moxie and power that makes lesser men say that's the benchmark. In attachment theory, the avoidant types overlap with narcissism. It doesn't mean that the avoidant types are narcissists. It just means some of the characteristics, like acknowledging what you did. America won't acknowledge what it did. America doesn't want to repair what it did. And then America wants to turn around and say you were wrong for saying this is what you did. But if it happened in a white home, where you got two abusive white parents, right? The white kids that come out of there that can turn their lives around, Ross Rosenberg, the human magnet syndrome, can take every spiritual ancient philosophy, can take all of Krishnamurti's work and allegedly turn it into the human magnet syndrome. In his book, he says he was raised by a narcissist and a codependent. His father was narcissistic. His mother was codependent. One of his classic lines is, observe, don't absorb. Who said something like that before him? Krishnamurti. The highest form of intelligence is to observe without judgment. Oh, I'll just rewrite it. Krishnamurti put out a book, Relationship as a Mirror. Well, I'll just call it the human magnet syndrome. Carl Jung sat with Krishnamurti. Einstein sat with Krishnamurti. They all took from him. This is giving you an example of a narcissistic society. And the men who were once tools and property in that society that grew up interracially are now unconsciously mimicking the toxicity of the white men who are still in power. This is what Corey is talking about. That's what Corey's talking about. And Corey's point, hey man, why would we ever trust somebody who spends so much time trying to destroy us when there is an untapped resource within us that we refuse to look into? The minister is over 90 years old and been teaching for over 60 of that. And he been saying the same thing. And guess what we do with the minister? Well, he might have had something to do with Malcolm. And besides, I'm Christian. Stephen Prothero wrote a book called Religious Literacy. And what he explains in that book, religious literacy, is real simple. He said America is the most religiously diverse country in the world, yet the most religiously illiterate country in the world. Most of the damn Christians don't even know that Jews and Muslims are their cousins. They'll be in church singing, Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. They don't know. Can everybody get us to the 30? It's 777 people in here. We asked for 30 people to hit that super chat. There's 15 out of 30 recorded right here. Can we get 15 more people to just drop $5? Is this good work today or no? I had to do this on MLK Day because we only got 3 people on super chat or on Cash App. We got Jeffrey, we got the Supreme Pivot, Knowledge and Wisdom and Understanding, thank you, and we got Travis. No, we got 4, and we got Lloyd. Thank you, Lloyd. Appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to you, Lloyd.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Yes,
Lloyd. All right? I'm asking people to support. Yes, while we are, doing this little impromptu class. Small-minded 69. Thank you, Zoe. I bring gifts. Please speak on. I'm speaking. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Lindell Moore. 1696. Thank you. Great work, Zoe. Keep teaching. Thank you. Thank you. Queen V 1460. Thank you, Queen V. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to shout out everybody who did something. Everybody who's doing something. If you enjoy what I'm saying, if it makes sense, if it resonates on any level, I'm not here to try to say I'm perfect. I got a perfect understanding because I don't. What is that? Serving Gray? 1778. I just have a perspective. I might not even be articulating it well. I'm just simply saying, man, we got to do better. We must do better. The one who speaks loudest isn't necessarily right, and speech directed by emotion without coherent thought or understanding is as destructive and divisive, taking opinion as fact without evidence. I hear you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Please continue to support. We got 17 out of 30. It's 700 people in here. Let's keep going. I'm ready to keep this fire lit. All right. Lloyd Hinton back in here with a 5-piece. We appreciate it. There's a couple of ways to do it. The $ down at the bottom of the chat, as well as my Cash App, $ZoWhat Netter. And don't forget to go to my website, MrZoWhat.com. I'm going to the post office tomorrow to ship these out. If you want He Is Risen, the Lazarus pill, all you got to do is get at me. Hey, Lindell Moore, back at it again. Thank you. Me and Easy Mo B support your call. Easy Mo B, that's my bro, man. Tell Easy Mo, man, I'm trying to get him with Cool Mo D. Please tell that brother. I got on the phone with Mo D yesterday, man. I definitely want to get them two together, man. That would be great to get those two legends together. That would be awesome. We're at 19 to 30. Thank you, guys. And I'm going to keep teaching here. We tear each other down when it comes to black masculinity. Two black men, going at each other. Keep dropping those gems, Zoe. Firefox 122. Greatly appreciate your efforts and message today. Self-Awareness TV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I told you guys I want to shout out everybody who does it. Again, we have picked up some narcissistic traits and characteristics from the environment that we live in. Right? We have indeed picked up some. Again, Carl Jung talked about the social shadow. Right? America wants to treat us like an avoidant lover, where it gives us intermittent reinforcement. Oh, you became the first black to do this. Pat on the back. Where you had guys like Prince, who only had, 7 Grammys. One of the greatest musical talents we've ever seen in our lives. This society didn't want to acknowledge him. Where you had people like Michael Jackson, who, his first album saved the music industry, Off the Wall. They didn't want to give him the big Grammys that was saved for the white artists during that time. Where you have people even like Chris Brown. Some people may argue against Chris Brown. But as successful and as many records as Chris Brown has sold, he should have more Grammys. Again, if we're talking about record sales, quality of content, and so forth. And some people might disagree with that. What I'm saying is we still have intermittent reinforcement in our society. They're mad at the NIL in college sports right now. They're mad at NIL because NIL made it more profitable to stay in college than it is to try to struggle in the NBA or any other sport. But the reality of it was they was pimping the college students. The NCAA was pimping them for everything. Had their name and likeness in video games. They was cutting $1 million TV deals. It was a pro organization framed as an amateur organization. And they made billions until the O'Bannon brothers said, no. Why we winning Rose Bowls and March Madness games and we go back to the damn dorms hungry? What the hell? So now it's out of control and it shifted the power balance. Because what was the power balance before NIL? Money. I remember the brother who represented Louisville when they came to Santa Monica High to see my son and offer him his Louisville scholarship. You know what the man told me? He says, oh, you know the money coming now. He had great offers before, but this is Rick Pitino, Louisville. He said, oh, the money coming now. That's when they paying cats because they know I can change your life. You broke. So now when niggas make a little money, they talk like the narcissist patriarchal father. Avoidance like narcissists. Also, outside of intermittent reinforcement, breadcrumbing you and giving you little bits of progress, they also discard you. That's what the penal system did. The penal system said, yeah, rock cocaine is different than powder cocaine. So your sentence is an indeterminate length. I knew brothers that had a damn indeterminate sentence. What is indeterminate? They didn't put a year on it, nigga. You can't be on the capitalist side and even on the liberal side and think shit is getting better. No. No. A real power share means somebody got to unball their fist. They got to let go of some of those resources. This is what a liberal is. You seen that monkey with his hand and he grabs some shit and try to pull his hand out? They don't want to let go of what they got. They don't mind sharing little intermittent bits of it. But to let go of the infrastructure that keeps them up on the hill and you down in the valley, they're not willing to let that go. Narcissists and avoidance will discard you. This society will discard you. Discard without accountability. Did they discard the black man here in America without accountability? Yes or no? Where avoidance and narcissism overlaps. You name something clinically important, ladies and gentlemen. You said, Zo, you need to come out here and address this. I said, I thought I did by talking about the toxicity that is inherent in the type of content, competitive, combative, disrespectful content that I feel like we initially created way back in the early 2000s. To be a radio personality, it was Guy Black who told me, your job is to make your host look good. If you're the host, he said, your job is to make the guest look good. If you're the host, your job is to set them up in their wheelhouse of information. You set them up by asking questions that it just automatically click in their head and they go, yeah. And they could talk ad length. Your job is like a point guard. You're passing them the rock so they can score, so they can look good. If they look good, you look good. That's radio. The type of radio we created at the Foxhole, we threw all that shit out the window. Do y'all remember, go back and it's on YouTube right now. Do y'all remember when the Foxhole roasted, what's the white man? Howard Stern? The Foxhole roasted Howard Stern. And it was like this back and forth. This is what the Foxhole allowed us to do. And once you do that, this is Pandora's box. Once you let this motherfucker out the box, that's it. Fox had brought Corey in to be a part of that show specifically. If you've been to Corey's show, you know Corey can say some of the coldest shit ever. Corey said something about, what's his sidekick, Robin?
I think her name is Robin, yes.
Come to find out, I think allegedly Robin had been raped by her father.
I had not.
And Corey
I read
said
that.
something about how she leaving the room, her father leaving the room and looked back at her or something. Listen, you can go listen. It's on YouTube, right? We did that. Everywhere I turn, somebody getting cooked. Somebody getting cooked up. We live in a society that is narcissistic. We made it this way. And in a narcissistic society, narcissistic discard and dismissive avoidant withdrawal differ in motivation, but converge in impact. The narcissist and the avoidant are doing it for two different reasons, but the impact is the same. People are thrown away. Both interrupt attachment without repair. Both externalize responsibility for rupture. Listen! Weren't you able to go to school? You're the American dream. You're the American story. Weren't you able to turn it around? Both experience accountability as threat, avoidant and narcissist. Let me read that again. Maybe y'all not tapped all the way in. Narcissistic discard and dismissive avoidant withdrawal differ in motivation, but converge in impact. Both interrupt attachment without repair. Both externalize responsibility for rupture. I didn't say nothing. I didn't do that. I responded to you. Both experience accountability as threat. Both seek continuity without reckoning. The difference lies here. Narcissism centers entitlement and image protection. Avoidance centers threat intolerance and emotional deactivation. But from the victim's nervous system perspective, the effect converges. What happened to me does not matter if it disrupts your comfort. Is that not America? What happens to the Black American, the African American, does not matter if it disrupts their comfort. If it disrupts the society's comfort at large. Yes, we have some wins. Yes, we have some incremental wins over decades of fighting. Yes, if Donald Trump can come out and say right now, I think the Civil Rights Act needs some adjusting, allegedly, because a lot of good white folk was hurt, then that means everything MLK did on MLK Day was for nothing. And all my people want to do is come in here and put me down and put others like me down because they're not entertained. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not here to get you through your day. I'm here to point out that you are savagely addicted to something that is not good for your soul. Now scale this up. White America as a dismissive avoidant attachment system. Listen, white America as a dismissive avoidant attachment system. When you map this onto racial history, the analogy sharpens instead of weakening. Sorry. I got to find where I was. Edutainment is what y'all calling it. This is my final piece I gotta find where I was. I actually messed up. Because I got notes, I got bullet points. While I'm looking for this, can I get 850 people to hit the like button? Can I get you guys to go to my Cash App and drop some bread? Help me today. Would y'all please help your brother? Go to my Cash App, $ ZoWhat Netter, or go to the Super Chat on the $ down at the bottom of the chat. We're only asking for $5. Can I get y'all to support? Let me find this. Don't you hate it when I should pull out the pencil, man. The iPad pencil works better than the thumb. Ain't y'all tired of it? Well, we still talking about this? Why we still talking about this? I'm telling you, the black man has mimicked a toxic man. Ooh. Hey. Is that true? Do we agree? Is that true? Where is it? Did I lose it? Somebody said these are great points. I hope so. Come on, Zoe. Don't tell me you lost it. Did I delete it? I might have deleted it. I don't think so, though. What up, y'all? I see y'all in there. All right, let's see. Pull it by the bootstraps. Get over it. Gaslighting, minimization. Thank you. Is the key just staying off social media? Limiting social media, I think, is the key. Limiting social media. My brother Rizza Islam said, never stop teaching. We need you, brother. I love you, Rizza. You know that, brother. You know that. I'm trying to bring something home, man. I'm trying to bring something home here because I need us to understand this work, man. Rizza is out here doing that work for sure. And I just need us to understand this. Dr. Joy DeGruy is doing that work. Michelle Alexander is doing that work. Dr. Francis Cress-Welsing was doing that work. Dr. Amos Wilson was doing that work. You know? I don't know what happened. I lost my little note here, but I know where I can go to pick right back up. There it is. I found it. There we go. I'm back.
There we go.
All right. There it is. I found it. I found it. I was like, what happened? What dismissive avoidant behavior actually does, not what people think it does. Conflict or emotional demand activates threat. Nervous system spikes. Withdrawal, distancing, or disappearing occurs. America has done that. America has done that to us. The avoidant return does not equal relational repair. I have experienced that firsthand. When America comes to the table to do a deal with you, they're not there to repair nothing. You saw that with Colin Kaepernick, right? They said, oh, okay, let's buy you out. Let's get you this, but you'll never play this game again. You understand? Avoidant return does not equal relational repair. This is how America deals with you. If we're not going to kill you, we're going to pay you off for your silence, and you going about your business. We relocate you from this issue that you stirring up. We don't want troublemaking Negroes, right? It equals self-regulation through distance. You distance yourself from the work you've been doing, or we're going to have to take this to another level. Does that make sense? Discard without accountability. Where avoidance and narcissism overlap. Do you see that? America has these same tendencies. Are y'all listening? We've been conditioned by the tendencies, so we act out towards each other in the same way. Anybody, and I'm saying it's real. This is really happening. Is it not a dogmatic belief in our culture to say, I don't trust them niggas? Who remembers the Boondocks, episode 1? Don't trust them new niggas over there. That's our belief about each other. Again, scale it up. Scale this thought process up. White America as dismissive avoidant attachment system. As a dismissive avoidant attachment system. Everybody subscribe, share, like. We're at 22 out of 30. We need 8 more people to drop a super chat. Can we get 8 more people so we can hit our 30 mark in the chat here on YouTube? All you got to do is hit that $sign. There's 700 people in here. We only need 8 more people to drop a 5 spot if you can. When you map this onto racial history, the analogy sharpens instead of weakening. White America's dominant posture towards black historical trauma follows as a classic dismissive avoidant cycle. Slavery, terror, extraction, exclusion, caste. Say it again, Zo. Slavery, terror, extraction, exclusion, caste. Rupture occurs, structural, psychological, moral. We're going to use Jesus. And we're going to make you pray to the same.
Come on.
You praying to the Jesus who answered our prayers and ignored.
JT. I can watch with JT.
Overt violence becomes socially costly. Do we kill each other as brothers in the street?
Too much.
Are we overtly violent to one another? Who did we mimic? Yes, the Arab slave trade was violent and vicious too. But these white folk over here in America had a special version of it.
Special evil.
Am I lying? Chattel slavery. You are the same as a cow that I can brand on the ass. And depending on the night, I might get ass from you and that cow.
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
Am I lying? Am I? Or overt violence becomes socially costly. Is Diddy a product of it? Is Frank Lucas a part of it? I'm from Pasadena. Was Ray Browning a part of it? Is Free Ray Ricky a part of it? Capitalism makes everybody chattel. So when our brothers mimic the system that's been put in place that defines success, we will use, rape, and pillage our own. Is Anton trying to say, brothers? Or is he saying, nah, the white man is the answer? I know Corey is trying to say, brothers. But again, I'm not picking a side here. I'm pointing out the divide here. Withdrawal from acknowledgement replaces repair. The government has withdrawn from acknowledgement. Time passes. Time is not a psycho-spiritual detergent. Nervous system settles at the societal level. Carl Jung said America has a shadow, the societal shadow. That was a long time ago. Y'all need to move on, but you won't tell the Jews to move on. As a matter of fact, you'll keep funding the Jews. You won't fund the brothers. You won't say, brothers and sisters, because we saw you and your foreparents as farm tools and farm animals that we occasionally had sex with against your will, your college is free. You live tax-free. No. No. Why keep opening the wounds is what they say. Let's focus on right now. These are narcissistic and dismissive avoidant tactics. I don't want to talk about the past. I don't want to deal with none of that. That's America and how they view you. Expectation. Resume national intimacy without processing the previous rupture. Be patriotic. Be down for us. Ride for us. This does not reflect ignorance. It reflects avoidant regulation through historical amnesia. Just like in relationships, time claims the offending system's nervous system, not the injured one. Time calms the offending nervous system's system, not the injured person's nervous system. Why accountability feels intolerable to avoidant systems. Attachment theory explains something political, right? You know what? I'm not even going to keep going. I'm going to stop. We got 3 minutes left. Benign neglect. We need 5 more people to hit that super chat button. We at 25 out of 30. Can I get 5 more people to show their love? Can I get 5 more people to show up? Oh, wow. Reza Islam on the cash. My brother Reza, man. He said, for the voice of reason, for a reason, keep teaching. Love you, brother. Man, love my brother, man. Damn.
Big props.
Love my brother, man. Wow. Love my brother. Thank you, brother Reza. I just hope that this matters to us. I'm tired of us wanting to be entertained. Ashe, brother. Ashe. Ashe, brother. Tired of us wanting to be entertained by each other's downfall. I'm just tired of that shit. I want us to heal. I've been saying for a long time that my Voice of Reason show on KBLA Talk 1580, myself and my wife and our little one have you on the TV right now. Ah, man. Blessings, brother. Love you, brother. Love you. Love you and the fam bam. I can't wait to meet the little one, man. Love, 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 love. I've been saying for a long time, my relationship show, I say we can't have political unity until we get some healing going, right? Healing first starts with self, and what comes out of self-healing is supposed to be self-acceptance, and out of self-acceptance comes self-love, right? Thank you, brother. Man, thank you. That means a lot coming from you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. I've always said you can't be in a healthy relationship until you're healthy. I said if we heal our intimate relationships, which would in turn heal our family. If our family is healed, the community is healed. If communities start getting whole and start healing, it'll spread across the nation. Now we got a culture that's healing. When you got a healed culture, we can sit down and have complex, difficult conversations about politics, about religion, about whatever, business, however we want to set up and move. This place right now will judge you. You got a white man who got dementia saying, you're not black enough if you don't vote for me. Now, if the brother Anton can acknowledge that, that's blatant disrespect. And he'll say, oh, well, that's a liberal doing that. That's the blue side. I'm not with gangs. The coldest gang in America is red and blue. Dems and Repubs. You know that. We got another one who is literally orange. 34-time felon. White men in America can be at their worst and still elevate to the highest seat in America. Black men in America have to be at their best and still can get checked for trying to get into their house because they forgot their key. The toxicity of this society has turned our men into simp, weak, fucking Johns, and has turned our women into passive-aggressive prostitutes that will sell nurturing kindness and loving for security. And then if they already got security, you can't be with them because they can't turn off the inner masculinity that's been ignited from being a dog in corporate America. If she's boss everywhere, she cannot be soft with you. If she's boss everywhere else, she can't be soft with you. And she has no empathy for you. Because white education, Western education is about indoctrination. It's about programming. It's not about critical thinking. It's about learning how to be a cog to fit into the machine in order to keep it going. Go Gore 88, thank you. Yo, we only need 2 more super chats here, and we're done. We've hit our goal. We are at 28 out of 30. We can hear it all day long. Feminism has some roots in the FBI and, went to academia to change and all this. That's a whole nother discussion. Always there to attack us. Always there to get at us. Listen, I just want to say this. I love my brothers. I love my sisters. I love my community. I think we should work together far more often. I think Craig said something about, I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. Somebody brought it to my attention about, I guess, having the brother back on or running it back or something like that. Listen, we got to find a way to have constructive conversation. And I'm holding myself to a different kind of standard as well. This is why I love my brother Reza so much. His level of self-discipline, and this is my little brother, his level of self-discipline is remarkable, and I'm grateful and highly impressed with his ability to stay so calm under pressure, because people are coming after anybody who talking the truth. But we all got to do a better job. Most of all, myself. I'm not here to try to judge anybody or put anybody down because I got my own workload. but I love my people, and we need each other. In order for us to find a level of unity, we got to do this self-work, this healing work. First on an individual level, then on a couple level, then on a household level, then on a communal level, and then on a national level. Because politics won't mean nothing if we doing business with people that are envious, combative, always competing and comparing. And as long as you got the white man's thought process, his psycho-spiritual thought process in your spirit, you're going to be judgmental and condescending to your people. So I just wanted to come back in here and speak to the issue. People said I didn't speak to the issue. I hope I did this time around. Francisco, did I speak to the issue this time around?
No, yeah, you got to it.
I think I did.
Yeah, you got
We
to it.
tied in avoidant and narcissistic traits of the society at large and how that contaminates how we as black men view ourselves and other black men, and how we compete and compare, how society tossed us away, discard, how society does not want to acknowledge that it needs to repair. How it was the metaphor there?
It was there. It was there tonight. It was there today. Yes.
All right.
I would like to see them run it back though as well. So
You'd like to see what?
I would like to see them run it back, or at least come back together and maybe have a different
Or make
dialogue.
peace.
Yeah,
Make peace. Corey and I made peace.
Mhm.
We squashed it. We made peace. Yeah. Make peace. We got enough enemies.
Right.
Make peace. Anyway, you've been listening to the ZoWhat Show. Let me say this. Follow me on TikTok. ZoWilliams _ Voice of Reason. My KBLA talk show, my relationship show, airs 7 to 9 p.m. tonight. I got an amazing topic. It airs tonight. Download the KBLA Talk 1580 app. On TikTok, I go live. Right? I go live on TikTok. And you are watching the behind the scenes of the live Zoe Williams Voice of Reason KBLA show. Everybody, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. Share. Hey, we got to 30. Lloyd Hinton and Bro Tip 74. Thank you.
Shout out.
30 for 30. We got 30 super chats. Listen, anybody who wanted to send a little love offering, a little piece of peace, we appreciate it. Go to my Cash App, $ZoWhat Netter. I appreciate everybody for supporting my businesses. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you. Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason, ZoWhat Show. I'm out.